What does first-time home buying in California look like? Well, today we're going to be doing a tour in the city of Mission Viejo, California, and we're going to be checking out a couple of properties that are in the entry-level price point, meaning these are the least expensive properties that you can get for your money in the area, again, in Mission Viejo. And so we're going to talk about price, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what you get, and a few tips on what to think about as a first-time home buyer or somebody that's looking to move in the entry-level price point in the area. So let's go. What is entry-level buying in Mission Viejo, California? Well, by the end of today's tour, you're going to get a great idea of what you can get in Mission Viejo, California as an entry-level buyer, which for the most part is going to be your first-time home buyers. We are going to go on a tour today and we're going to check out a couple of properties that are at the entry-level purchase price of Mission Viejo. So in all of Mission Viejo, the two properties that we are seeing are going to be the least expensive for what is on the market. But what can I tell you about entry-level buying in Mission Viejo? Well, the first thing that I can share with you is that you're gonna be looking at condominiums. Condominiums are sort of apartment style homes where they are attached. You typically have somebody above you, you have somebody below you, and also on the side walls. You unfortunately will likely not be looking at townhomes, which are also attached but only side by side, or single family residences. The starting price point in Mission Viejo is in the 400,000s, the mid to low 400,000s. Now, the properties that we're going to be seeing today are one-bedroom condos, and they are about 500, 600 square feet each. There are some areas in Mission Viejo, in fact, probably in one of the same communities that we're going to, that also have studio homes. And what a studio home is essentially you don't have a bedroom and that your bed is in the main living area. For those kind of homes, sometimes people will buy a Murphy bed or some type of a futon or pull out, so that way when you are not sleeping, you can utilize the main living area of the home. And some of those studios can be as small as 400, just over 400 square feet. But right now there aren't any on the market that we can go check out that are studios, so we are going to go to the one bedrooms. The two bedrooms, if you are curious, start around in the high 4s to the low 5s, and we're not checking out any of those today. So yeah, so today the condominiums that we are going to go see are priced in the mid 400s, and they are each one bedroom condos. The other thing to know about living in a condominium or anything that has a community, or we call it homeowners association, is that there's going to be an additional fee that is included in the monthly payment. And the average price, I would say, in Mission Viejo is going to be somewhere around $400 plus or minus for a homeowners association. Now, the benefits of having a homeowners association is the fact that sometimes, well, many times the association will cover some costs, and as well as have amenities. And that usually means one of the main things that the HOA covers is the landscaping, which I don't know if you can see in the background, but there's a guy working on the landscaping. They make sure that everything remains looking good and aesthetically appealing. And sometimes they'll work on projects within the community, such as painting the exterior. If you're in an amenity that has a pool or a spa or maybe a barbecue area, they'll maintain all of that. So sometimes it is nice to have the homeowners association. The other thing to think about too when buying in the area is property taxes. How much is the property tax rate, as well as fire insurance for financing. Mission Viejo tends to have especially in the areas we're seeing, they're a little bit more established communities. The tax rate is going to be pretty low, probably about 1.01% of the purchase price. Okay, we are pulling up to our first property. And fire insurance, well, it's hard to quote on that, and especially on a video, because the amount is changing constantly. So I would say talk to an insurance person about getting fire insurance and getting a quote on fire insurance estimates when buying a home in California. So you would have your mortgage payment as well as your fire insurance, you would have property taxes, and then you would have homeowners associations. So those are 4 things that you need to think about with your monthly payment and costs that are associated with buying in the area or buying a home in general. The property we're about ready to see is listed at $439,000. It's centrally located in Mission Viejo in a community called Valencia. It is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. It's 604 square feet. There's no lot size. There is an outdoor area that you'll see. There's no garage. The community is built in 1981, and the monthly HOA dues on this would be just over $400 per month. Let's go take a look. The property we're about ready to see is listed for $435,000. This property is also centrally located in a community called Las Palmas. The community is also centrally located in Mission Viejo, not too far from the Mission Viejo Lake. A lot of the entry-level homes in Mission Viejo are going to be in central Mission Viejo. This one is 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 513 square feet. There's also no lot size to this one either. It's a single level. There's no garage. This one is built in 1984. The monthly HOA on this would be just about $440 per month. Let's go take a look. And what else do I think is important for somebody who's looking to buy in the area to know? I would definitely recommend, whether you're a first-time home buyer or whether you are somebody who has bought and sold before, to know the process. To know, what does it look like to make an offer? What does it look like to get your offer accepted? And then especially if this is your first time or you're coming from out of area, to learn, who do we use to organize the sale? The sales typically aren't directly between the buyer and the seller. Some states have attorneys, some states use title. We happen to use what's called escrow. Escrow is the middle sort of mediator, if you will, that handles the process of the sale. We don't want any money transferred between the buyer and the seller directly, and we also want somebody or some company or entity to make sure that everybody dots their I's and crosses their T's. So here we use an escrow company. It's also important, going back to understanding the home buying process. What does it look like? What happens throughout the process? How long is a typical process last? Those are all important things that I would recommend any first-time home buyer, or I would say any buyer, even somebody who has bought and sold a few times in the past, because chances are, and I know especially in California, chances are, even if you have bought and sold in the past, it's probably been some time and there's probably some changes that have taken place since the last time that you bought and sold. I hope that helps today okay with understanding the home buying process for first-time home buyers in Southern California. The properties that we toured were in Mission Viejo, and they are the entry level. They are the lowest price of what you could get your foot in the door for this area. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message. My contact information is at the end. If you like what this message offered, be sure to subscribe and follow for more, and make it a great day.